What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for night 2 of NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver. And my god, man, night 2 once again stood and it damn sure delivered. This show was fucking awesome, man. Now, for me personally, between the two nights, which one I thought was better, I would honestly have to go with night 2, simply for the Johnny Organo match, but more or less the main event. The two main events, but more or less the Kyle O'Reilly Adam Cole match, which I fucking adore, man. Like, low-key, I probably would put that in my top 10 favorite matches of all time. It was that fucking good. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole absolutely killed themselves for 40 fucking minutes, man, which I didn't even know the match was that long, but fuck me. But yeah, man, that match was amazing. The match with Karrion Kross and Finn Balor was fantastic. The ladder match to start the show was pretty good. A great way to start the show, man. The women's match was pretty good. And overall, Johnny Organo was, of course, fantastic, as Johnny always is, on TakeOver Sundays, or Saturdays, as it used to be anyway. So, yeah, I would definitely say between the two nights, I thought night 2 was the better night, but both shows were fantastic in their own right. You couldn't go wrong with either night. As we both nights, we got 2 fantastic nights of wrestling. So, yeah. Anyway, then I don't even know how wrestling is even compete with this, but we'll have to wait and see on Saturday and Sunday when WrestleMania takes place. But anyway, man, with all that out of the way, let's just jump right into the after show. So we started the show off with Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin in a ladder match to decide who is the undisputed Cruiserweight Champion. The match I was looking forward to seemed like it was going to be pretty good. The match itself was fucking awesome, man. It was a high-octane, high-flying spots, great shit. There's definitely a spot that definitely Shawn Michaels had a part of, but we'll get there. And the match was overall awesome. I was surprised that Santos Escobar didn't retain, because I thought Jordan Devlin was probably going to be the one to retain the title, was the one going to become the NXT champ. But no, it ended up being Santos Escobar, which, no, I'm not totally against. I didn't really care who won. I thought either way you could go wrong. Either way could work for me. I just personally thought in my prediction, just personally myself, was that it would be Jordan Devlin. Which first, I'm pretty sure this is the first time I've mentioned a Jordan Devlin match, maybe on one of my TakeOver reviews or not. But regardless if I have or have not, I gotta say I fucking love this man's entrance theme. I love that theme he got, man. It is so badass, and I fucking love it. So you had him. You also had Santos. He came out more luchador-inspired gear with the mask and everything before he took it off once he made his way to the ring. So these guys went at fast and furious. They were going at. Jordan grabs a ladder, and then when he has it like up on like the apron. So Santos Escobar does a baseball, so trying to make it like have it hit Jordan Devlin with the ladder. He ends up moving. He ends up moving it up. Moving it upwards. The man just completely goes through the ring, and then he kind of like moves it backwards and hits Jordan and hits Santos right in the head with the ladder. That was pretty smart. You also had this really nice exchange where they were kind of like when they were going at each other, and then then Santos Escobar was on the ground. Jordan Devlin had him up grabbed him by his arm. He pulls him up, bam, into a ripcord, into a flying knee strike. Then, while Jordan Devlin is dazed, Santos goes off the ropes and comes charging at him, but Jordan turns into a Spanish fly. That looks fucking phenomenal. Later on, you had Santos propping up this ladder right against the barricade. He didn't like prop it up like horizontally, like it was going to put him up there and jump off a ladder and drop down on like some Jeff Hardy shit. No. He literally just propped it up there like it was a TV or something. And I'm like, what the fuck is there a ladder there? We'll find out. Because then my man goes for a suicide dive, hits Jordan Devlin and sends him right into the ladder. The ladder actually didn't even fall. It stayed, like when he pushed it up, it just stayed there right pressed up against the barricade. Speaking of ladders that did surprising things. Santos, like he had the ladder up when he was about to climb. But he doesn't open it up and do the whole thing with the rungs and then climbs up. He just kind of stands there. Once Jordan is in front of him, he drop kicks him, which hits Jordan Devlin. But then it bounces off like the ropes like twice before it just lands on the man's foot. Which is like, oh, so it's like, oh, with a little extra. So then you also had Jordan Devlin straight up doing a moonsault off the ladder right onto Santos Escobar. I wonder who came up with that spot. So, obviously Shawn Michaels. So you could definitely tell Shawn Michaels had his hands in this match with that spot alone. You could tell he had some part of it. That and also, in fact, he was the one that brought in the ladder on NXT last week, I think it was. Or might have been the week before that when they announced this match for Takeover. Or at least announced it for it to be a ladder match, rather. But anyway, but anyway, at the end of the match, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but you also had a Spanish fly off the ladder, which also looks fucking awesome. But anyway, they're at the top of the ladder. Both of them are trying to grab the belts. Santos ends up, and you also had Legado del Fantasma also got involved as well. But Santos hits Jordan Devlin with a headbutt, sends him into a ladder, breaks in half completely, and then he grabs the belts. So he is your new undisputed cruiserweight champion. And then at the end, actually, you actually had his son actually come out there, and he like gave one of the championships to his son, which, you know, a nice, cute, cute little moment for him to have with his son. Although I don't know if that was, although you're a heel, my guy, so I don't know if you really should have done that. I mean, you know, it's in the long run, it's probably going to mean nothing. It's Takeover. He probably wanted to have this moment with his son, but even I have to say that was a little questionable, you know what I mean? But whatever, I'm not gonna harp on it. I'm not like, oh, you must follow kayfabe. I'm not that anal about kayfabe. You know, it's like, you know, if you live the gimmick, you live the gimmick. I respect you if you live the gimmick, but if you don't, I'm not gonna sue. I'm not gonna crucify you over it. But regardless, you know, that was a cute little moment he had with his son. So whatever. Anyway, after that, we had the women's match. With a women's tag title match between Indy Hartwell Loomis and Candice LeRae. I'm loving the index shit. I think that's pretty funny. I mentioned that on my review of night 1 versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Now, before we jump right into the match itself, this is something I didn't mention in my review from night 1, but I'm gonna bring it up here because Vic Joseph actually corrected himself because he said this on night 1, and I was like, fam, did I hear you right? And I think, but I didn't like harp, and I think part of the reason I forgot about the review because I thought I might have misheard him or something. But on night 1, when Raquel Gonzalez won the NXT Women's Championship, Vic said on commentary that Raquel Gonzalez has made history. She is the first woman to win both the NXT Women's Championship and the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. And I'm like, fam, Ember Moon, she was NXT Women's Champion like 2 years ago. You know, and then she lost it to Shayna Baszler. I even tweeted that out, like, fam, Ember Moon was first. So, and then, like, on the match, so then when Ember and Shotzi were making their entrance, he did correct himself and saying that Ember was the first. So, props to that one, because I'm sure he probably got a lot of those messages on Twitter. But anyway, on to the actual match. Now, for the women's tag title match, it was really good. This was a great match. So first, like I said before, while Ember was making her entrance, Vic Joseph corrected himself, saying Ember was the first one. I liked the new match she had, where it was kind of lighting up and like the jaw, it kind of like actually, like I said, she was talking. Thought it looked really cool. And also, Ember is now rocking purple hair. Not bad, not bad. I mean, you guys know me, I'm partial to when she had the red or when it kind of looked like a sunset earlier on in her run, but hey, the purple looks cool. So anyway, Shotzi was on the receiving end for a lot of she was getting beaten up a lot throughout the early part of the match. Eventually, Ember comes in there. They finally start to the odds start to even up between the two teams. It becomes much more of a class attack match, and they're kind of more on even terms. Probably the nasty. We gotta tell them like probably what was like the nastiest spot of the night, and that is when Shotzi goes for a suicide dive, and Indy and Candice don't even try to catch this poor girl. She just completely misses, and it looked pretty bad. Although she looked fine throughout the rest of the match anyway, but that was definitely a nasty spot. But probably what was my favorite spot of the night is when you had Ember going up against Indy. She started like hitting her Ember started hitting Indy with like these jabs before she starts doing like these like dance moves before just saying suck it, doing the whole thing with the cross chops and everything before finally landing blowing Candice, which sends her to the ground. I thought that was probably my favorite spot of the match. Was that one? Yeah, like that was so funny. Anyway. We end the match off. Ember does like a senton or whatever the top rope after Shotzi almost killed herself when she failed the suicide with the botched suicide dive. Anyway, so after that they bring them back and they bring Indy and Candice into the ring. Ember goes for the total eclipse nail on them both. Shotzi goes for her senton, and of course wins the match 1, 2, 3. Great women's tag team title match. I'm sure NXT is going to be doing good by these belts. I mean, so far I'm not any more interested. I mean, I'm more interested in these than I am the women's tag titles in the main roster because it's NXT. But I'm sure as time goes on, NXT will do a lot better with these titles than the main roster has. At least I hope anyway. If NXT can't even make these titles worth a damn, then they're really fucked. But we'll have to wait and see on that anyway. Anyway, next up to my man Johnny Organo versus Bronson Reed. So I would give this match a slight edge over Tommaso Ciampa's match against Walter, but either way, both of them were phenomenal matches in their own right. So, of course, the match. Well, first off, I like what they did with Johnny's entrance package thing. Because as you guys know, Bronson Reed when he makes entrance on the Titantrons and everything, they show like a city because Godzilla, he's big, Godzilla, all that shit. Well, with Johnny, they actually had a seascape, but the camera panned up to the sky, and then there was a spotlight with the Waze logo, and obviously a reference to the Bats. So that was pretty cool. But then Johnny comes out in his gear that he's wearing for this match, which I'm assuming is very inspired by the Mark I Iron Man suit, given the fact he had an arc reactor with the Waze logo on it. It looked very similar to the arc reactor you see in the MCU. So I'm assuming it's based off of the Mark I armor because he calls himself the Iron Man in NXT. Which I think that's like a nice way of doing the Iron Man thing again, because as we did the Iron Man thing beforehand at Takeover New York in that 2-hour Falcon match with Adam Cole, which I guess was my favorite match of all time. Anyway. So, of course, the match starts off. Bronson Reed, of course, is throwing his weight around and just making quick work of Johnny, throwing him around, sending him crashing into him, sending him to the floor. Johnny's barely getting in the office. Of course, as the match progresses, Johnny starts attacking Bronson Reed's midsection. That, of course, changed. Johnny starts to take the lead, and of course, that becomes priority focus for him is the midsection. He also, Johnny actually he tried to do that shotgun or shotgun spear. I think is what it's called when he goes from where he launches himself from the second rope into a spear. He tries that against Bronson. The man might as well try to spear a brick wall because my man just instantly hits and sinks. He doesn't even really move. He doesn't really get much. Although it did end up hurting Bronson, but not that much. He mostly just went So anyway, Bronson, of course, and they also brought up some references to Bam Bam Bigelow because he had a little cartwheel when Johnny tried to do a Rana. Apparently, he was also possessed by the spirit of Keith Lee in this match, which we'll get to in a second. So he had that, and Johnny also did a reverse Rana on Bronson Reed. How Johnny Gargano pulled that off, I will never know, but hey, they don't call him Johnny Takeover for nothing. So then later on in the match, Bronson Reed straight up does a fucking suicide dive. Yes, remember this big ass fucking 300-pound man out there acting like he's fucking Ray Phoenix or some shit with a suicide dive. It was batshit insane. I was like, what the hell did I just watch? So then later on of course he goes for the tsunami. Johnny moves out of the way. But then later on the match, Bronson Reed does another top rope maneuver. This time he does, I don't know, it was like some flip he did off the top rope, but once again he misses Johnny. Once again, I'm in complete shock. I'm like, fam, were you watching some Keith Lee tapes before this match? Were you talking with Keith Lee or Dominic Dijakovic? Since when do you move like this, my guy? Because I don't recall you ever being able to move like this before on NXT. Or maybe I'm just remembering shit, but I doubt it because I feel like I'm going to remember that. But yeah, apparently you can also move like Keith Lee as well. Go figure. Anyway, of course, Johnny wins the match with with back-to-back one final beat to win the match 1, 2, 3. Johnny retains the title, which I'm not really surprised by. I was kind of hoping I could see Bronson taking the title, but I always kind of suspected that Johnny would probably be the one to win this match. Or at least I was hoping that Johnny would win the match. They'll probably give the rub to Dexter Lumis later on after he's done with LA Knight. because the storyline, because with Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory, they're probably going to give they're going to have Johnny and Dexter Lumis have a match at Takeover, and that's probably when Dexter Lumis will take the belt. Whether he'll take Indy with him or Austin Theory with him as well, we'll have to wait and see on that. But anyway, next up we're on to the co-main events: Finn Balor and Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. Then we also had Adam Cole, baby, and Kyle O'Reilly, which are top of those. But anyway, on to first off, Finn Balor. Now, this match, I think it was kind of 50-50 on who it was. Now, I thought that probably Karrion Kross was probably winning the match. Now, if Finn Balor came out as a demon, then it was probably a bit more 50-50 with me, where you could see it going either way. And I was really hoping Finn Balor would bring back the Demon for this match, because Karrion Kross, it fits with the gimmick of the Demon, and it would just be cool to see the Demon again, because you haven't seen him in God knows how long. Unfortunately, there was no Demon. Finn Balor once again came as the Prince, which, I mean, I know that he's now the Prince now, so the Demon doesn't really fit his gimmick anymore like it did during his first run of NXT, but come on, the Demon was cool. I wish we could see him. At least bring. I don't know if we'll ever bring him back. Maybe we'll do one more match with it, or maybe he'll never touch it again until he goes to AEW after his contract expires. I don't fucking know. But either way, he did come up with some paint. He had like an X, where his heart, on his chest, which did look pretty cool. Which ended up rubbing off on Karrion Kross's face if you paid attention when he had him in a headlock to start off the match. And when the match starts off, they try to go for the collar, but time, of course, Karrion Kross easily overpowers them. Eventually, Finn Balor locks him in a headlock. They start going at it. He slides him down. Like I said before, you can see the paint starts to rub off from his chest and onto the side of Karrion Kross's face. So anyway, the match goes on. Finn Balor is predominantly attacking his arm, and then later on his midsection to the more liver area as the match continues on. And then eventually, like I said before, throughout most of the match in the build, I suspected that Karrion Kross was going to win. If the Demon came out, then like I said before, it would probably be a bit more 50-50. But this actually surprised me, and I was actually kind of surprised by how much offense Finn Balor got on Karrion Kross. Because remember, with Karrion Kross's matches of recently, he's almost always just dominated his opponents, or at the very least, they never really give him too much trouble. Finn Balor was probably the first time he's ever actually had where you can genuinely see him, the kinks in his armor showing up, and you can see Finn Balor, he's definitely laying some damage onto Karrion Kross. And this was no different later on in the match, where Karrion Kross was building up was getting ready to deliver a move. He tries to run towards him and instantly falls to the ground, akin to Kyle O'Reilly in their match at TakeOver as well. Now, when I saw this, I was shocked. I was like, oh shit. I think Finn Balor might actually retain the championship this night, because you haven't seen Karrion Kross do something like that stuff where he just falls, where you show him where you see him that damaged. So like I said before, I thought Karrion Kross or Finn Balor was going to win the match. Of course, it doesn't happen. You got kicked, so you had some the coup de grace, he hit that. He ended up not taking it. And of course, he kicked out of it, man. You also had Karrion Kross, or Finn Balor lock Karrion Kross into some sort of submission. And then you had Scarlett Bordeaux screaming in some sort of language. It damn sure wasn't English. For all I know, the woman was speaking Latin, for all I know. Either way, she was out there just screaming at Karrion Kross to finish him off. He ends up just starts wailing on Finn Balor after he manages to get out of submission. And by this point, Finn Balor looks like he's out. I'm thinking that they're probably either A, going to call the match off right now, the rest going to call him off, or B, the match is over. Either way, the match was over. So he does a couple of Saeed or suplexes and eventually wins the match as your new NXT champion. Now, where do we go from here with Karrion Kross? Who at the hell in NXT currently will beat him? Honestly, I don't know. There is really, I put JD on this one, where there is really nobody in the active roster that you could probably see taking the title off of him. It's not Ciampa, it's not Johnny Gargano, it's not fucking Bronson Reed or Cameron Grimes or even Finn Balor or Kyle O'Reilly or Adam Cole. I feel like the only person that probably will, because we all know Karrion Kross isn't going to be in NXT much longer. I'm pretty sure we were all shocked that he ended up coming back to NXT in the first place after he had to relinquish the title the first time. We all thought he was bound for the main roster, because look at him and look at Scarlett. Vince probably the first time he look at Scarlett, the dude's probably going to come in his pants, because he has a fetish for blondes. But when he came back, we all know it's not coming. At best, I'm going to give him 6 months. He'll probably come. He'll probably be up to NXT maybe towards SummerSlam, and then he'll be on the main roster post SummerSlam. Maybe he might. Maybe he might stay the rest of the year. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I can definitely see them bringing up Walter and having him carry both championships, both the UK Championship and the NXT Championship. Now, who beats Walter? Fuck if I know. That's Triple H's job. But that is a very interesting proposition to have Walter be the one that talks down Karrion Kross. I mean, it makes sense. It'll be believable. I mean, we all saw Walter in his match with Ciampa. So I definitely do subscribe to that mindset. I definitely can see that working. For who takes down Karrion Kross for the championship. So anyway, let's move on to the other main event between Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. This match fucking slapped. This match was amazing. I fucking loved this match. Yes, it was long as fuck. 40 minutes this match lasted, according to JD in his review, which I didn't even know. I didn't feel like 40 minutes to me. I was just like, oh my god. I was like, I was just along for the ride, man, while this match was going on. But well, I do say, could you have shaved off maybe 10 or 15 minutes, shaved it down to 25 or 30 minutes, and it still would have probably not lost, and it still would have been an amazing match? Yeah, probably. You probably could shaved it down, and it might have actually either flowed better or it's supposed to stay the same. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. These two killed each other for 40 minutes, and it was an amazing match. Like I said before, low-key might actually be in my top 10 favorite matches of all time. Low-key, it was that fucking good. So first off, let's talk about the new theme music before we jump into the actual match itself. So both Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole got new theme music. Kyle O'Reilly made the most sense because he's no longer part of the Undisputed Era. Doesn't make sense for him to use the UE theme. So he got his new theme. I thought it was pretty good. Whatever, nothing too crazy, but I thought it was fine. Adam Cole, I was both surprised and not surprised he didn't have his Shock the System UE theme. I was shocked because that was Adam Cole's theme. He was there because it was such a great theme. I didn't think that he would get rid of it, but at the same time, I wasn't surprised because the UE we always know is dead basically. There's no more Undisputed Era. Adam Cole's by himself. So I wasn't surprised they went all the way and said, yes, Adam Cole's by himself. The UE is no more by getting rid of the old theme. Now, is the new theme anywhere near as good as the UE theme? Of course not, but I thought it was fine. Some people were commenting that apparently reminded them of his Ring of Honor theme. I can't comment on that because I don't watch Ring of Honor, but hey, so there's that. But anyway, on to the matches. Of course, these two. First off, I love what they did with the lights right before the match started, where they kind of the spotlights moving all around. Thought that looked really cool. But anyway, the match starts out. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to go for a couple handful of spots because this match was 40 minutes. A lot of crazy shit happened. So forgive me if I'm so I'm probably going to miss a lot of shit. But anyway, man, the match started off fast and furious. These two are basically already out for blood. They keep going at each other. Then eventually a chain. So then, of course, you got chairs coming in there with the them having the UE logo on them. Then you had Adam Cole, or I believe it was Kyle O'Reilly, delivering a brainbuster on Adam Cole on the announce table. The announcer did break. Kyle O'Reilly gets smashed with like a TV. You had a chain getting mixed in the match where Kyle O'Reilly starts wrapping around his legs, kicking him with it. But then Adam Cole uses it to basically to clothesline Kyle O'Reilly, like some Spider-Man 3 type shit, which I thought was pretty cool. The chain got a little bit more action throughout the rest part of the match with the submissions and everything. Kyle tries to do that suplex thing on the steel steps that Adam Cole did to him. He ends up not doing it. Commentary sells it to him, not being able to go that far, not going able to go that far like Adam was or whatever. So you got that. Then you eventually. Of course, you had so many false finishes and like kickouts and all that shit. I already mentioned TV, but then Adam Cole gets like Kyle O'Reilly legit punches Adam Cole through a chair. Like Adam had a chair up by his face, and Kyle legit just punches the chair, which obviously hits Adam. Then Adam just throws a chair at Kyle. Then you of course had them going through the ramp itself, and Adam Cole just starts breaking like the left side. of the sides of the ramp to get him out there. Then he like brings a steel. Then he has like 2 steel chairs, one wrapped around his neck. He has one of his hand. The ref is begging him, "Please stop! You don't want to do this." Adam, he's going crazy. Adam Cole's like, "Shut the fuck up, you dumb," and just sucks the referee. At that point, I was like, "This match goated. This is fucking amazing. I love it." And then you got Adam Cole shouting at the ref, "When I tell you to shut up, you shut up!" Absolutely amazing, man. I fucking loved it. Then Adam Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise. He lands it perfectly. He goes for the pin, but because he was a fucking dumbass and took on the ref, there's no one to make the pin. So Adam Cole fucked himself with that one. One thing I was surprised by, there was no "you sick fuck" chants. Or maybe there were, they were just... Now granted, to be fair, the crowd wasn't really that into it as much as they were for night 1. Don't know why, but I was surprised there were no "you sick fuck, you sick fuck, you sick fuck" chants. Or maybe, like I said, they could have censored them because "you sick fuck" ain't PG. So, you know, because there were a couple spots in the match where those chants were definitely warranted, if you ask me. But anyway, the ref eventually gets back in there. Adam Cole, you got Kyle O'Reilly, you know, like hitting, like, first off, he hit the last shot, but Adam Cole kicks out. He ends up, like, they're both sitting in chairs, just, like, all wobbly as they just start punching each other, man. This match was so fucking good. But anyway, we end the match off with Adam Cole being, like, perched across the steel chair with, by, like, the parts where the chair actually stands on. Adam Cole's, like, kind of like just laying on top of that. Kyle O'Reilly's on the top rope. He wraps the chain around his knee, jumps from the top rope, hits him with his knee at first. Adam Cole just starts convulsing, selling it, and Kyle O'Reilly goes for the pin and gets the 1, 2, 3. Fucking amazing match, man. I loved every second of it. It also didn't feel that long to me, but like I said, could you have shaved it down a bit? Yeah, you probably could have, and it probably would have still been a great match. Although I will say, if Marlo was doing this would probably. I'm not going to be harping on this because I know that we're not going to get Marlo back. But with how good Marlo was on commentary, you just can't help it. I mean, I'm not going to come out here and say, "Oh, Vic Joseph is trash." I think he's fine enough commentary. He doesn't. I would say I like him more than Michael Cole. But that's not saying much. He's all right. Wade Barrett, I think, is really good. I really do enjoy him. Beth Phoenix is pretty good as well. But if Marlo was doing this match, man, you had the Mamma Mias and everything. Bro, this would easily probably be my top 5. I'm not going to lie, man. This would easily probably be my top 5 if Marlo was doing commentary. Like I said, I'm not going to harp on that or put that against the match much, but yeah, I just miss Marlo, man. He was NXT, and he was like one of the biggest reasons why I fell in love with NXT back in 2018, and it sucks he's gone, man. Like, the commentary we got now is pretty good, but the NXT commentary was built different when you had Marlo and Nigel McGuinness there, man. It was built different, man. But anyway, man, with all that being out of the way, this show was fucking amazing, man. I loved every match on here. The entire show was a masterpiece. Fucking love. This is probably the best takeover we've gotten since Christ. Probably since before the pandemic. This is probably the best takeover we got since Takeover Portland. Yeah, I probably would put this maybe slightly above Takeover Portland, and maybe even put it up there with like the Takeover. Maybe not up there exactly with the Takeover Phoenix and Takeover New York's. I don't think it would be that straight caliber, but just like right below that, man. This Takeover was fucking phenomenal, man, and I can't sing its praises enough, man. So anyway. Of course, my final verdict for Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 2 is a 10 out of fucking 10. My overall review of the entire show is a 10 out of fucking 10, man. Anyway, we got WrestleMania in a couple days. We'll see how WrestleMania holds up against this. Probably won't even be all that good. But hey, we got live fans again in the main roster, so that should be entertaining. That should be fun to finally see that again. But anyway, guys. Till then, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you feel like it. Links down in the description box below. And as always, come out for more. See you guys next time. She's